Well, hello everyone. This is a video where I'm going to introduce you to board games. I really like to play board games, and I have played like lots of board games since my uncle shared with us this hobby of him some years ago, like 5, 6 years ago. Um, well, I was thinking about how I would develop this video, so I thought about explaining some basic things in board games, like a number of players, the way most board games develop, how they work, and how the mechanics and strategies are. Like there are many board games with many mechanics for everyone. I think. Well, first of all, board games nowadays are really it's a wide field. We have lots of mechanics and like things that are part of board games besides the basic board, like the board, and we have like meeples, cubes, tokens, cards, tiles, and we have other like markers and dices. And yeah, there are lots of things. I think I could show you some of them. Like, let's see. Or well, I will be showing you as I explain the games. But yeah, these are like parts of the setup of games. The components of games, like there are many components and many games and how they are. There are as well different kind of games. Like in board games, you can play solo games, like just yourself and against the game. Those are interesting, but those are not my kind of game, to be honest. But yeah, there are people who like to play against the game. As well, there are the normal games where you are against each other, like of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. Like there are in those uh, yeah, the numbers of players, and yeah, that's the second like. And as well, there are other mechanics where you are like cooperative, where you are basically a team with the other players and the all the players, and you have like the same uh, objective, the same aim, the same goal, that is win the game together. That's why they are cooperative games. So those are pretty kind of games, different mechanics of games. And as well, now how games work, there are different kinds of mechanics in how games work. There are abstract games where you have like a role, and that role is different from the other players. So you have like your own mechanic. You have to understand, comprehend the role, and build your strategy based on that. You cannot copy strategies of other people because your game is totally different from them. Yeah, it's you and your game to win points or something, whatever is the goal. As well, there are party games. Those games are for a lot of people. They're usually uh, for seats 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people. Like yeah, they're for lots of people, so they can play together, and they are short. They are short and really basic to understand, so a lot of people can play. It's like so I really like party games, but you need people to play with, because if you're just only 3, 2, it's not going to be as enjoyable as it will be with a lot of people. There are social deduction games. Those games are pretty interesting for me. I'm not as good. I'm not good at social deduction games, but because I cannot lie. But those games are really interesting because like they give you cues to learn, to to discover things from other players. Games like this are Secret Hitler, Midnight Werewolf, where you or Bang, where you have like a secret role, or and no one knows that role, but you can, by the time passes and you play the game, and you discover like from your using your intuition, the cues, hints, you can discover and like have that idea that someone is this role. So those are social deduction cues, and based on that, you can build a strategy and win. There are other games that are working placement. These games are pretty interesting because like you have the board, and as well you have like this works with meeples. Usually meeples are like a small plastic persons. Yes, those are meeples. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. You have meeples and you have your board, and you have like each section where you do things. So you can choose to grab two meeples and place them in a place, and based on which place you place those meeples, you will do something like earn a resource, earn a point, or do something like that. It depends on the game, but that's working placement. Like you have your meeples and you decide how to place them in a way to earn points and achieve the goal that is winning, of course. Um, there are games where you need a lot of interaction, like you need to play with people, talk with them, and there are as well games where you don't need to talk with people. Like you have your own strategy, you all of you do the same and just work on getting there. So that's like a brief explanation of how board games are. I don't think I have it like enough time to present the games, but I will recommend to you 3 games that I have here. Um, this game is Carcassonne. In this game, you have your a scoring board. And if you didn't know what meeples are, these are meeples. In board games, there are games where you need meeples, or these plastic like small figures. And as I told you before, this one works with tiles. You bit by bit you place tiles, and they have to match. And when you place a tile, you place a meeple as well. And by doing that, you make points, like you earn points in the game. And the one who had the most points wins the game. It's pretty simple. It's for from 2 to 5 people. I like them and I have lots. Actually, I have a lot of them here behind me. But yeah, and there are lots of different kind of games, and yeah, they're really great. And I hope you like the video. Bye.